Hi everyone, welcome to another video. This is actually another story time that I've got for you. It's the time that I knifed myself. So let's get on with the story. I moved to Leeds about 3 or 4 years ago now. I moved up for a job to work in a solicitor's as a legal apprentice, and I was training for the ILEX, which is the Institute Legal Executive. It's another way of qualifying to be a solicitor without having to go to university. So I moved up there, and I actually lived in the same apartment block as my stepbrother, and I moved in from what I can remember, I think I moved in From what I can remember, I moved in May 2014. I had never lived outside of home before, so it was a very new experience for me. I moved in and I started to move my stuff in a couple of days later. Now, I had this knife, a small tiny serrated knife that you would it was like a bread knife but a smaller version, and it was sealed in a packet from Asda. With those types of sealed packets, you have to use scissors to open them. I opened the knife packet with scissors, and I started wiggling with the knife to get it out of the packet. Somehow it came out the packet and it cut my hand. It didn't hurt. From what I can remember, it didn't hurt a lot. So when I looked down at my hand, I was very surprised to see my hand wide open, gushing with blood. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't spurting, but I ran to the bathroom straight away, started pressing it down with loads of tissue, and because I didn't have my car up in Leeds at that time, I thought, how am I going to get to the hospital? I don't want to ring 999 and be an inconvenience because it's a cut on my hand, but it was it needed stitches. I ran up to my brother's apartment to see if he was in, and there was no answer, so I started to panic because I was losing a lot of blood and I thought I'd pass out. I rang 999 and said I needed to get down to A&E. I have slashed my hand open and it needs stitches. So the ambulance came to get me and I went to the hospital. I sat and waited there for a good 2 hours with a large gash in my hand. I cannot even explain how deep it was to you. You could see the bone, you could see everything. It was disgusting. It made me feel really faint, but luckily I didn't pass out. Anyway, 2 hours goes by and the doctor comes to see me, and he did say I needed stitches. So I had about 4 to 6 stitches put in from what I can remember, and basically to numb the pain he injected something right into the wound, and it must have hit a nerve because my fingers were twitching. It was the most disgusting, cringy experience ever. Because it was on my hand, I had to cover it up when I went for a shower. I had to literally cover it up with like a Tesco's bag or a sandwich bag, and I had to lift my arm up in the shower so it didn't touch. It was so hard because I write with my right hand. I do everything with my right hand. It wasn't that I couldn't do anything with it. I could write, but it was very painful because I don't know if you can see the scar there. Apparently I have some form of skin. I can't remember what it's called, but I had a mole removed basically, and it wasn't healing very well, and the woman said it's because you've got some form of skin. I can't remember. My mum's got the same thing. So yeah, you can evidently see the scars. But that is the story of how I stabbed myself. So just a word of warning, never buy a knife in the sealed packets, and always be careful when you open it because you will end up knifed. And also, a murder happened in the apartment block the night before, and I had blood left in my bathroom and all over my floor and on the dining room table with the knife covered with blood. And I was so scared the police were going to come into my apartment and interview me and me get arrested because I'm the one with a knife. So that is another story for another time as well, which I'm sure I will tell you one day. But that's all for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!